In this administrative video, we'll talk about how to use the group column and what parts of the group column can be used by administrators to manage their institutional alerts, including adding and managing groups, adding and managing roles, and adding and managing the users in your roles. So the first part of group, role, and user management is to actually work on creating a group or editing an existing group. And so if we're on our admin page and we look on our group settings, we can either add groups or edit an existing group. So let's take a look at this first existing group underneath our main level account, test message 1. If we go ahead and select that, then click edit group, we can see we can change the name of it, and we can also set this inherit message checkbox either to checked or unchecked. And right now it's checked, and so let's talk about what that means. So underneath the test message 1 group, we have 2 roles. In test role 1, if we look at the users, we've got 2 users. And in test role 3, we've got 4 users. So what inheritance means for this particular group is that if I'm sending out a message to test role 1, all the users in that role would get the message, dev2 and DIS developer 19. And since inheritance is turned on, everyone in test role 2 would get the message as well. And so that's how you manage if you have multiple roles, but you also want all those roles to get the same message when you send it out without having to select multiple roles. You have inheritance set up underneath your main group. Now, if we were to set up a new group underneath our main account, we'll go ahead and leave inheritance blank. Click OK. Got our new group set up, and let's add some roles to it. And we'll add one more role. And once we have our roles set up, we can add users. Choose our different users, and I'll have one user here, DIS developer 3. And for 4, I'll use DIS developer 6. Now, this role has no inheritance set up, if we look right here. So that means if I try to send out a message to test role 3, if I select test role 3 as the message recipient, DIS developer is going to get this, DIS developer 3 is going to get this message. However, DIS developer 6 will not get the message since it's in a different role and there's no inheritance set up underneath this specific group. The other part about groups to note is that if underneath our admin level set of users, if we drop down, we see these 2 users are set up as admins. And underneath setup admins, we have a group of 5 users. Since these are admin level users, we cannot add them to any of our groups as users or our roles as users. So that's something to be aware of. If you want to have someone added to your different roles so they can receive messages and you're not seeing them selected or available in your all users list, that's going to be because they're either they're at one of these admin level specifications. So note that as you're trying to add users to your groups and roles. So now that we've got our different roles set up and we've talked about how to create those, you might have noticed when we were creating, for instance, role 3 here, if we go into edit role, we had this choice of either send message or receive messages. So in this case, when this setting is set to send messages, the users associated with this particular role can receive messages, or can send and receive messages. However, if we have this setting checked to receive messages, now every user that's associated with role 3 would only be able to receive messages. They wouldn't be able to come into institutional alerts and create and send any messages. So that's one thing to note when you're creating the roles. Make sure you have the setting down to what you would like to have for the particular users in this role. And one other thing to note is that when you have admin level roles set up and there's users associated with those admin level roles, any message that is set out under the account that you're logged into under institutional alerts, everyone in these admin level roles will receive those messages. We already know how to add users and followers via a bulk insert or by looking at our actual Twitter followers on the Site Actions menu when we're on the administration page. But you can also add individual users when you have your role selected via the role menu. And to do this, we can go ahead and click Add User. By putting in their name that's going to be displayed and then their actual user handle and what type of user handle we're using, and right now it's defaulted to Twitter. We click OK. And go ahead and click on our role. And now we can see our user assignment has been added. Dave Smith has been added to our particular role that we have selected right now.